Hello, I'm Linsdell, and today I'm going to be doing a webinar on blogging for authors. Okay, now over the next 20 or so minutes, we're going to be taking a look at why you should blog, first of all, also how to blog, and then we're going to be taking a quick look at how to leverage your content so that you're getting the most out of your blogging activity. Okay, so let's start off, no wasting time today, with why you should blog. Okay, did you know that 45% of marketers in this year's social media report by Social Media Examiner said that they were going to put blogging as their #1 priority for content marketing this year? Now, if so many marketing professionals are agreeing that they need to be putting their resources, time, and effort into blogging, there's got to be good reasons for that, right? Yeah, right. So, now that we've covered the fact that blogging is, in fact, an important part of your marketing strategy, let's take a look at why that's relevant for authors. Okay, because we're not just doing like general marketing here, we're going specific for, the whole writers and authors angle here. Okay, so why should a writer blog? Well, one of the top reasons is to become a better writer. Okay, now the more you do something, the better you get at doing it. So it makes sense, therefore, that if a blogger is spending her time doing blogging and things as well, she's also spending more time writing, and therefore is becoming a better writer in the process. Okay, also, publishers would much rather give a contract to an author who already has a built-in audience of readers. Okay, and that's where having a blog comes in. Okay, it's a way of you already building your author platform. Okay, you're already connecting with your audience. But you can also use it to catch the eye of publishers. In fact, I actually know several authors who started out as bloggers and then were actually approached by publishers to turn their blog into a book, if you like, or an idea related to it. So it can actually be a way to be launched into the publishing industry as well. Okay, and even if it's not, that's not what you're going for, then it also gives a way of demonstrating, because even small press publishers, if you do want to go, not want to go the self-publishing route, you want to go with an actual publisher, whether it's a small publisher or a traditional press or whatever, when you submit your manuscript to them, you'll find that pretty much all of them will be asking about your author platform and the ideas you have for marketing and things like that. So if you have a blog already that has a following on it, you have an active audience and things, then that can be a real plus, and that could actually be what makes them pick your manuscript over someone else's. Okay, now also, an author who has to wait months between finishing his or her book and reading the reviews, okay, that can be like, because we all know reviews are a huge thing, both for the authors in the sense of feedback, but also for clients to get more clients, and also to get more sales on your book as well, because it's all well and good the actual author saying my book is fantastic, but when other people are saying your book is fantastic, it speaks a lot more to potential customers. Okay, so how does blogging help with reviews? And well, a blogger can actually read their readers' comments the same day that they click publish. Okay, this makes blogging a great way to get feedback, both when you're still in the idea stage, because you can play around with things. Maybe you're considering 2 cover designs, whatever. You can ask your audience, your readers, you can ask them to vote on which one they would prefer, for example. Or maybe you could share just a little teaser of your novel to get feedback on them, or things like that. There's a lot of books about how to blog a book, and things like that as well, that you may want to have a look at, or may not, depending on what route you want to go with publishing and things with that as well. But anyway, blogging is a great way to get feedback. Okay, you might find also that there will be people who have read your book, but maybe didn't have the time or just didn't even think to post a review to Amazon or Goodreads or one of the other sales channels. Okay, but they may be active on your blog, which means they might leave a reviewer snippet in the comments on a blog post that you've written about that book, for example. Okay, so it can be a great way to get feedback back from your readers, but also get some constructive criticism to help you put out the best possible work in your product as well. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, we're going very, very fast today because I've got so much content that I want to share with you, so we're going to cram it all in. There'll be plenty of time for questions later. Okay, anyway, so bloggers spend most of their time sharing their ideas and insights with their readers, but if you listen, you'll find that your readers share a lot with you too. Okay, now this leads on from the last point about getting feedback and criticism and things. When you're putting out little tasters of your writing, or you're sharing book covers, or whatever it is that you're sharing on your blog, when your readers give you comments and feedback, or when they don't as well, because you have to look in the blank spaces as well. If you write, for example, a blog post that gets 20, 30 comments on it, all very excited, you know you've written a good blog post and you know that that is something of interest to your readers. If, however, you put up a blog post and nothing, nothing at all, as if you didn't post it, then maybe you need to be looking at other ways. You need to sort of read the pros and the cons of the things that you put out there as well, because also if you've written a blog post that no one's interested in, chances are they're not going to be interested in a book about it either. If you have written a blog post where everyone got really excited and they got really engaged and everything, then that's a good sign that there's probably an audience out there for that topic as well, as far as your books are concerned. Okay, now, as you write more posts and share more of your expertise, your website will change from just another blog into a powerful demonstration of your knowledge in a field. That's right, through blogging, you can mark yourself out as an expert in your field. Okay, and before you say, I'm not just talking to the non-fiction writers out there, this applies to the fiction writers as well. Okay, so if, for example, you are a romance novelist, then you can show yourself on your blog as being an expert in writing romance, also in romance books in general, on the topic of love. There's lots of different angles you can take on it, but you can really mark yourself out in that niche as being someone so that when they think of, oh, I would like to read a new romance novel, then your name is going to be one of the names that pops up because they're so enthusiastic about your blog and all the romance things that you post on it. Okay, so anyway, it's a good way to genuinely become an expert in your field. Moving on. Okay, now, we all know that having a network is very important for your marketing efforts. Yes, you do have to get out there. You can write the most fantastic book in the world, but if nobody knows about it, it's not going to sell any copies. Okay, so blogging is actually a guaranteed way to expand your network. So, if you write valuable and interesting blog posts, they will attract readers who will then comment on your site and hopefully send you also personal messages through your contact page. Because let's say, any day that you get fan mail is a good day. You know, someone has taken time out of their busy schedule to contact you. That's a pretty good feeling. And blogging is a great way to do that because it gives your readers a platform where they can contact you. Even if it's not writing a personal email to you or whatever, but they can actually just leave the comment on your post to shout out and say, yeah, I like what you're doing, keep doing it. And that gives you that energy and everything to keep going as well. But it's also a good way to grow your network, because it's showing other people as well that you're someone worth connecting with. Okay, you have ideas, you have your own style, you know what you're talking about. It's a good way to branch out and therefore get more readers who will then come your way through the blog. Okay, also, when somebody searches for you online, which they will do, hopefully, you want to make sure that they're getting an accurate and complete picture of who you are and what you're about. Okay, now starting a blog is a great way to do that. Okay, because it gives you control over your online identity, and if you're doing it right, will become the top result when people search for you on Google. Okay, which means that you can make the right first impression and give them all of the correct information, most up-to-date information about you, your books, and what it is you do. Okay, so it's a very important presence to have online. Okay, now, just to sum up this little bit here, I think now it's pretty clear you should be blogging, okay, and the reasons why, as an author, above all else, you should be blogging, okay. So let's move on to the how to blog section of this webinar. Now, this is basically breaking it down really, really simple for you into 3 little categories. You create, you share, and you connect. Okay, this is basically what the blogging comes down to. You want to create amazing content that is going to have people, excited. It's going to have them jumping out of their seat. It's going to provoke emotion in them. It's going to provoke a reaction in them. Whether that reaction is to be, wow, this is an amazing person who's inspired me, and I want to know more about them. Oh, look, they've got some books out. I've got to go check them out. Or whether it's just that direct, yes, now I'm going to go and buy that book. You want to start creating those emotions. You want to provoke the reaction of your readers, okay, with the content that you create. So, first rule is putting out fantastic content. Okay, second, you want to share it. You also want other people to share it, okay? Because as much as you could share it through all of the channels that you have, but you're only going to reach your readers by doing that. If you use the right hashtags and things, then you will open it up a little bit. But the biggest and best way to connect with more people and have your content seen by more people is to have more people share it. Okay, you want to start getting that snowball effect where everyone is clicking the retweet or the share button on your post, which means you have to have share buttons on your blog. Trust me, one of the most frustrating things is when I find an amazing blog post and I'm like, yeah, this is really good. I leave a comment and everything, and then there is no share button on it. Now, I am an active blogger. I do like to support others and things, so I may, if I have time, copy and paste the URL with a little summary on it, maybe even add a hashtag or whatever, and tweet it out or share it on Facebook or wherever else. Chances are, though, even if it is a truly amazing post, I'm not going to do that. Because we live in a world where time is precious. Okay, there is never enough time in the day to do everything that we want to do. So taking that time out, even if it is just 2 minutes to tweet out someone else's content like that, if it's not really important for you to share that content, you're not going to do it. Okay, now one way to secure and eliminate this problem, okay, is by adding social share buttons to your blog. That way, if a person thinks, wow, this is amazing content, they just click tweet or share and it's done automatically. 2 seconds it's taken them and they've done it. They are much more likely to share your content if you make it easy for them to do so. Okay, so make sure you're doing it. Please make sure you're doing it. Put those social share buttons on there. There's lots of free options out there. Add this, share this. I will leave some links on the webinar page on the Promo Day website as a handout for you, so that you can have all of those links there. So yes, check those out, because really it's one of the best things that you can do for your blog. Okay, now the last section here is connect. Now this is probably one of the most important steps on there, and that is connecting with your audience. Okay, this means that if someone leaves you a comment on your blog post, you reply to it. You reach out. If someone's sharing your article on Twitter, or they send a compliment your way or whatever, it means that you are then replying to them and maybe asking more questions. You're getting a conversation going. Okay. You want to maximize your posts and use them as a way of making more friends. Okay, more friends, because who are you more likely to buy from? You're more likely to buy from a complete stranger that you know nothing about, or one of your friends. Yep, you guessed it. You're more likely to buy from someone that you already know, someone that you already like, okay, someone that you already trust. And through your blog is a good way to do that, okay, because you're taking someone that you don't know, you are starting to build a friendship with them, you're having dialogue with them, not monologue, okay. You should not do marketing as a billboard, okay, unless in fact you are hiring a billboard. Okay, if you're talking about social media marketing, if you're talking about blogging, then it has to be a two-way street. Okay, you need to be asking questions, you need to be answering questions, you need to be getting involved in the conversation. Okay? Okay, whilst we're doing the how to blog section, I just want to hit on where you can set up a blog. Okay, now you have lots of different options. You don't have to go a page route. There are lots of free options available as well if you just want to test the waters first, you know, to get a handle on it, see how the whole blogging system works and everything. You don't have to fork out a load of money at the beginning. I personally really like Blogger. I know that the industry standard is everyone loves your WordPress. I personally like Blogger. There's a certain benefits to being with Blogger, one of which is the fact that it's owned by Google, and therefore it shows up better in search engine results with less work to get you there. It's also super easy to connect and share. You've got loads of different templates that you can use as well. Online as well, you can find lots of free templates which you can use. Very easy. You just copy and paste the HTML code into the section on the website. Very easy to use. Also for layouts and everything, very easy to use. I have used WordPress as well in the past, and very similar kind of system. Again, you just have to find the one which you're most comfortable with, basically, is what it comes down to, because you want to be able to optimize your site so that you reach your goals with it. Okay, so much the same with when you're writing books or anything else. You need to find your way of doing it, because 100 experts can tell you that a certain type of content or a certain thing works best, but that might not be the case in your case. Okay, because you have to take everything from a personal, individual point of view to apply. By listening to other people's tips and tricks and things, you can get inspiration, you can get ideas for you to try out and see if that's still the case for you. But it might not be, and that's okay. That's okay. You need to be able to embrace what works for you and make it work all the better. Okay? So whether you want to go with WordPress, you want to go with Blogger, or you want to go with a whole different route, then go for it. Go for it. Whatever works for you. Okay, the whole point is that you find your way of blogging, your way of connecting with your audience and making yourself stand out. Okay, the World Wide Web is a very busy place, and so you need to find the best way to reach your audience on there. Okay, let's just do a quick fire session with some blog tips. Okay, now it's difficult to find common ground with others when the only person that you're focused on is yourself. That's right, it's not all about you. You need to make it about your readers. Now, this applies to your blog design, this applies to the content that you share. People are going to switch off. If they have, they have loads of things in their heads today that they want to be doing and things, if you don't catch the interest, they're just going to click off. Okay, so you need to be offering some kind of value, some kind of benefit to your audience to have them look at your content. Okay, the more value and benefits you give to your audience, the more audience you're likely to have, because people will be going around saying, oh wow, this person is fantastic. They give away the most amazing things. They share the most interesting insight and stuff. And so your platform will grow, your blog will become more popular, and more people will come to find you. Okay, so remember, make it about them and not about you. Okay, now let's take a look as well at the kind of posts that you can share, because here as well, again, this will depend on you as a person, your own personal style, what you feel comfortable with, and the audience that you're trying to reach. Okay, so bear that in mind. Now, posts. Humour. People love to laugh. They really do, so amuse them. Captivate people's emotions. Okay, so you've got to put a little bit of heart in there. You want to maybe reveal some of your own personal struggles and how you've overcome them and things, which leads us on to the next point, hope. You want to inspire people. Okay, so you don't have to be, oh yes, everything's amazing all of the time. No, you can also share your difficulties, your writer problems, and things like that. Because, for example, you could write a blog post about how you never get writer's block. You're amazing. You have, unlimited inspiration and never get stuck with your writing. People are not really going to connect with that because most of them will have had difficulty at some point. Now, I'm not saying if you are a person that has never been blocked at all when it comes to your writing, then that is fantastic. And yes, by all means, give yourself those 2 big thumbs up. But you want to find a way of connecting that with your audience. So, for example, you could put a twist on it and explain how you managed to do that. How do you manage to always be inspired and never have writer's block? Okay, you're making about them, not you. On the other hand, if you are a writer who has had this problem in the past, then share about it. Okay, there will be thousands, millions of other writers out there and readers who will connect with you on an emotional level when they read about your struggles, how you're not being able to up your word count like you would like to be, maybe the reasons why you're stuck on it. Maybe your readers could help. If you say, you tell a bit of backstory about one of the character that has you blocked and why it has you blocked, then you could maybe ask your readers, your audience as well, to give you some ideas about where they would like to see the character go, how the character could grow and become better for them, more interesting. Or maybe you just need to axe the character. Maybe, you need to be killed off. But either way, you can use your blog to do that. And last but not least, help. Okay, now you'll notice that there is a kind of a ladder here. They're all connected in a way. Help. You want to assist people. You want to take their problem and you want to give them an answer. Whatever that may be. Maybe that's how to write. Maybe that's how to bookmark it. Maybe that's how to beat writer's block. Or maybe it's just giving them some ideas of romance reads that they could read, or maybe children's books that they could read with their kids. You could, share with them why you like these books so much, or the benefits of them, why your kids liked reading them so much. There's lots of different ways that you could turn it on, but again, the focus is not on you, it's on them. Okay, so focus on your audience. Think about how the post that you are doing benefits them in some way and gives them value. Okay, we're running out of time, so I'm going to have to do a quick recap now to try and make sure that we've covered everything. If I have missed anything off of my list, then I will have to throw together a handout with the extra bits on it, which you will be able to check out in the forums over at Promo Day. Now, we've done why you should blog. I think that should be clear now, that you should be doing that. Go set up your blog. Tell me about it. Share with me the link for your blog so that I can go and check it out as well. It's good to connect. How to blog. Yep, go over to whatever platform it is that you find easiest to work with and set up your blog. Make sure that you have social share buttons on it. Make sure that you're putting you into your blog posts. Make sure that it's not all about you though. You need to put a piece of you in it because you want to be connecting with your audience on an emotional level and things, but at the same time the emphasis needs to be on them, not on you. Okay, so you need to find a way of making the content be about them and not about you, even if it is about you. Yeah, I know. I hope that's clear though. So anyway, that's that. Also, if you're looking for ideas for what to post to your author's blog, then there's a link for that as well in the forums. I did a blog post where it's actually packed full of 100 different ideas for blog posts for authors. Okay, and that's just a starting point. There's actually loads more stuff that you can do out there, but it's a good way to give you some inspiration, so go check that out as well. Then, how to leverage your content. Okay, the number one thing you need to make sure that you are doing is putting social share buttons on your blog. Okay, make it easy for people to share your content. Make it easy for people to comment on your blog as well. Okay, so open up those content. You might get a bit of spam. That's okay. You can delete that later. There's different ways you can set it up as well for the comments. For example, you could moderate all comments. Too much work for you? Then moderate only comments on older posts. Okay, because most of the time they're the ones that get the spam. Anyway, but anyway, there's different ways that you can go about it. You can put in one of the catches on it so that people have to put in a little, couple of digits or a word or whatever they have to type in to prove that they're not an Autobot. There's lots of ways you can get around that. But it's much better to put that on there than to close the post. Because if you close the post to comments, then that's just making your billboard and it's a monologue and nobody is interested in a monologue. Okay? It's all about talking. It's about connecting. It's about building relationships. And to do that, you need to have your channels open. Okay? So make sure you're doing that. Make sure you are sharing your content. It is perfectly fine to retweet older blog posts, okay? So don't just share the post on the day that you publish it. I mean, obviously you will be sharing it then as well, but you can share it the following days as well, particularly on sites like Twitter. It is okay to share the same content multiple times. If you're going to do that on a site, for example, like Facebook, then I would share less times, but I would also make more emphasis, obviously, because you have also more characters to work with, so you can make sure you're targeting the post when you share it more specifically to your audience to make sure that you reach more people. Also, don't forget about Facebook groups as well, because you're not just sharing it on your page, where maybe your reach is more limited. You also then want to share that post in the various different Facebook groups without spamming, because remember, even when you're sharing a post, you need to concentrate on your audience or your potential readers instead of on yourself. So instead of sharing, I've written this amazing new blog post, which is putting the whole emphasis on you, you want to be sharing the benefits. Read this blog post to find out how to, or this blog post offers ideas or inspiration or this or that. You need to flip it over as well on the text that you're putting to share the link. You need to give them a reason to click on it. Okay, and so again, make it about your audience and not about yourself. Okay, so you're doing that. Don't forget about your visual content platforms as well, because, as writers, we tend to concentrate on the whole writing thing, but also this applies to your blog post content as well as where you're sharing it. Okay, don't forget about putting images on it. Every blog post should have at least one image on it. Okay, think about using video content as well. I personally love doing video content and visual content. I'm really drawn to it. I find myself quite comfortable in front of the camera. I don't have any problems with it. Not everyone will feel the same, but again, you can do video by doing just a slideshow, for example. So you're not actually on the camera at all. You could just do the voiceover, or there's lots of different ways that you can do it without actually having to be on camera yourself. But anyway, you need to weigh up your strengths and weaknesses, what you enjoy doing, because it should be fun as well. Okay, so also when you're considering about the social media channels where you're going to be sharing your content and where you're going to be putting in your marketing efforts, then you also need to apply that as well, because the fact that you're having fun doing what you're doing will then pass on to your audience as well, and it will inspire those emotions in the person. Okay, if you're having fun doing it and you're all energized and it's all amazing, then the person who is watching or reading your content is going to pick up on that, and they're going to be enthusiastic about it, and they're going to be like, yeah, this is fun and I want more of it. And that's what you need to be doing. Okay, so anyway, that's all that we have time for today. I'm so sorry, I had so many more things that I wanted to share with you. I may have to do a follow-up webinar. I'll have to put one together to do at a later date. But anyway, I hope that today's webinar has been useful for you. If you do have any questions about anything that I've shared or anything that I've not shared because I missed out, then please reach out and connect with me as well. Make sure that when you are sharing about this webinar, please use the hashtag PromoDay2016 because that's a good way to get the voice out about that as well, and it also makes it easier for me to connect with you and pick up on your tweets and things as well. And also, if you are taking part in Promo Day, then the forums are open all day long, so I will be on there all day doing stuff, so feel free to reach out to me. You can send me a private message, you can send a post directly onto the forum for everyone else to see as well, get the conversation going. Also, send me your feedback, because testimonials, always awesome. So yes, please connect, and don't forget to share with me your blog links as well, so that I can check those out. If you would like to hop over and check out my personal blog, then you can go over to joelinsdell.com. I also run writersandauthors.info, so go check that out as well. It's a blog for writers and authors. So loads of information over there for you as well. And don't forget to check out the stuff on the Promo Day blog as well, which is promoday.net, where you can connect with all things Promo Day. So anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you at next year's event, and have a fantastic day. Bye!